Alright, now we're going to talk about the Pak Sau, or slap hand. I like the term slap hand because when you do it, you should hear that on your partner. This is part of my conditioning right here. When I'm working with a partner, I want to hear the slap. Now the Pak Sau in itself is not going to be very effective because if they're much larger than you, it does not matter how hard you Pak Sau, they can run right through you. Same thing with the other things, anything. If they're bigger than you and you stand in front of them and they're like a train, well, they're going to run you right over. So first you want to go with the Pak Sau. Train the Pak Sau. The way I train it, I'll demonstrate on my little plastic dummy here. This is a Pro Force. I guess this is from Asian world. I'll give him a shout out. It's okay. Pak Sau. I'm actually going to do the way that I would normally do it is I go from here. Notice how my body moves and I start to redirect that arm. For sake of practice, only for sake of practice, I'm going to start here. That's so I don't have to continuously move and I can work the Pak Sau itself. When I go to Tung Sau, it's going to be totally different. But my Pak Sau is going to be here. I'm going to move that just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Center myself. One of them cinematographer type things. So I'm going to start right here. Just to work the motion. And I'm not hitting too hard. Just hard enough to get the motion in the hands and the arms. Now, if I go to one side, I can work it that way. We'll start to incorporate a little bit of footwork right now, and I'll just use the Pak Sau. The thing I like about using just a Pak Sau or just a Tung Sau is it's more of a one movement. I get a little burp going on here. Sorry about that. This is going to be a one beat as you park and strike. Alright, so now let's incorporate the footwork. I get out, get in. I'll get out and get in. Basically a triangle. Seen that a few places before. So now I'm using one arm. Notice I'm using one arm. This will really have a jab cross. So the jab comes in there. I park that side. Then I'll get out. Parks out as I step in. Boom. Re-engage. Strike. So again. Parks out the jab. I get out. Here. Now these are concepts. When I teach it with my class, we experiment with a concept. When I do my Dikiti Tertius Stratus Kali class, we do nice spark. We're learning from concepts. I'm teaching from concepts. Nothing is written in stone. If you write something in stone, you can come and visit me with that hunk of stone and I'll kick your ass. So nothing is written in stone. This motion is meant to get you out of the way, or out the way like I like to say. So again, the jab comes in. I'm not using this arm. These arms are wide. I'll get my wooden dummy later. Do the whole thing. Pak, Pak Tung. Now, when your root to the ground is good, when your knees are properly bent, as we do this motion here, you can add kicks. I like to use an arch kick. Very fundamental kick. Inside with the arch of the foot. Usually aiming for the knee, that kind of hurts. You can also scrape down the chin. So again, one Pak, two Pak. And if we can put it all together, we want to put it all together. That second one, two, right there. Got it? And then you can follow up with multiple strikes. Now, one thing I do teach, and I teach this to usually young ladies who have nails on their hand, we can always change the warhead. So Pak, Pak, palm strike, or the face. Follow in multiple strikes, multiple palms, whatever you like to use. The main thing behind this one is to get out of the way. One, two, there you go. So once again, work your Pak Sau. I'll work it. I can work one arm. I prefer to practice here on this dummy, just to get the motion of the Pak down. You start to get motion of the hips down here, which is fine too. So there you go. There's your lesson of the day. What's next? We'll have to see.